Hey guys, I'm going to shoot a couple more videos of the Mark IV 454, the engine that I lost the cam and the lifters in. Yesterday I uploaded what I considered the final assessment, which would have been video 3. I'm going to change the title of that, obviously, to video 3 because I want to shoot video 4. This is going to be the bank number 2 head, and then I'm going to shoot video 5 detailing the bank number 1 head. I loaded everything up yesterday and was going to my machinist to kind of just turn it over to him and let him knock it out. But once I got up there, I found that he's got family in town for early Christmas, I guess, and I just really did not want this thing to sit because I knew it had a bunch of rust potentially in it. So what I've done, I've got it back in the shop, and man, am I glad I brought it back, because I discovered what I thought was okay is clearly not okay. What you're seeing right here, these are the intake valves for the bank 2. Obviously this is a 2, 4, 6, and then 8. You know how in the video I was like, yeah, you know, number 2 looks good, number 8 looks good, and maybe a couple others on the other side. Well, it was definitely would have been a disaster if we had just put it back together making general repairs, because every one of the intake valves, except for, I will give number 2 credit, it was not too bad. And I'll cover this side a little while. I want to stay on this side because of the lighting. But number 8, which looked great in the engine, and I got a jet coming. I'm not sure how loud it's going to be. They're actually taking off, so I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, well anyway, I'm going to try to just go ahead and talk through it. This is going to be the number 4 intake. Now this is the one that really started the damage, because again, I'll get to that side in a while and I'll show you where the rust came in. But as you can see, let me change hands here. See what's on the, oh man, hopefully it'll pick up in the light. See the rust? I sprayed just a small amount of WD-40 on that, and I could barely get that valve out a little while ago. Now I put a little bit of it, oh, I keep losing the camera. I put just a small amount of heat on here with the small torch, and then took this little brass punch, you know, and kind of encouraged it to move. You don't want to start banging on these because you'll start disconnecting the guides. But what shocked me was every one of them are contaminated with rust. So let me pull this one out. See? So this clearly lets you know, I mean, if this thing had been leaking at the exhaust manifolds or somewhat, it wouldn't have gone back into the engine and then mysteriously gotten to the intake. This water obviously came in through the intake and made its way to the exhaust valve stems via blowing through the cylinders and trying to go through the system. So on that note, anyway, this has got to be redone. Let me see if I should have left those out. That's what I'll do. Let me put these on here so I don't get mixed up. I like to keep them in their corresponding locations, because if I do the head work on this job, see, the heads have already been done by my pro head machinist, and they don't need to be remachined. They just need to be cleaned up and obviously assessed for pitting and such. Because let's see if this lighting will help. I'm struggling with lighting because one of my bulbs went out in the shop. I don't know if you can see the rust on a few of those. Anyway, it's there. Okay, and then back to the head again. Number 2, 4, 6, and 8. Obviously the intake valves are the larger valves. That one, this is what's weird. I kind of started cleaning them a little while ago, thinking that, well, maybe I'll just clean it up, leave the intake in, and replace the exhaust. And then that's when I got to thinking I better pull this apart and check it. There's number 4. You can see it's loaded full of rust. And what is really strange is number 6 is much worse than I thought. And notice how, see the exhausts are not really all that bad on some of them. Anyway, that'll be number 8, and it had a little bit of rust. And obviously, going back to the whole concept of, here's the intake, here's the high plane, here's the low plane, and let's just stay on this side since we're looking at bank 2 head. This will be bank 2. This will be number 2 intake, number 4, well, that's the exhaust, number 6 and number 8. And number 6, see how number 6 is a low point in the valley? Number 4, a low point in the valley. Again, water settled, and the low point, oh, that's a good picture. You can really see the rust in that. See how clean the upper bank, I can't think of what I'm trying to say. The upper platform, and then down in the bottom, it's not terribly bad on the bottom, which is a little confusing, but there's a ton of rust in this one right here, so it clearly lets you know that it was going in right there. So anyway, I'm gonna call it right there. I call it a video. I don't think there's anything else I need to cover on this, but again, 100% confident the problem started from water ingestion at the intake. Thanks.